Hi everyone, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine. It's the first anniversary of the passing of Ozzy Osbourne, and those of you who know the Now Spinning Magazine channel and me know that Ozzy meant a lot to me, as did Sabbath and his solo career. And I'll put a link at the end of this towards my tribute that I did, or lots of other stuff. He's very easy to find. But thinking of him today, I can't believe it's been a year since Ozzy passed. I just wanted to put a really quick video together. So I've picked 5 tracks that I am playing today to celebrate the life and career of Ozzy Osbourne. So what I'd like you to do is put in the comments what 5 tracks you would play today to celebrate the life and career of Ozzy Osbourne. So these are my 5. Okay, and I've just picked things that might not be obvious because I wanted to just kind of look at his singing style and the music he created and the joy he's brought to millions of people around the world. This is the 5 tracks that I've picked today. Tomorrow might be different, but this is to celebrate the very sad passing of Ozzy Osbourne a year ago at the time we were doing this video. Right, the first track is from Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath in 1973. And the track I'm going to pick from this is actually a really heartfelt love song, and that is Sabbra Cadabra. It was very different vocally. It's a great riff though, isn't it? Great riff before I go on, but lyrically, this is Ozzy pouring out his heart for love of his life. He's just talking about a woman and how what she means to him, making love all night long and everything. But it's very romantic. It's a great rock song. But I've always felt that even when I was growing up, that I kind of thought, I want to feel like that one day. Ozzy singing about someone who means a lot to him. And I absolutely love it. Feel so good. I feel so fine. Love that little lady is always on my mind. I just love it. It might sound cheesy to some of you, but I think it's a great track. And I think Ozzy's voice, lovely lady, make love all night long, and the way he sings that, and his voice is just so emotive, and you just believe, lovely lady, Miss Divine Eyes, lovely lady, you don't tell me no lies. Yeah, it might be kind of obvious, but I thought, Ozzy, I just think the way he delivers this, it's just a beautiful song. It's a rock song. It's not a ballad, but it's just Ozzy. Okay. So that's my first choice. My second choice of my 5 tracks for this is from Never Say Die from 1978. And the track I'm picking here is Junior's Eyes, which was, Ozzy had left Sabbath and there were different lyrics to this, and Ozzy came back and his dad had recently passed away and he rewrote the lyrics for it, and it's a tribute to his dad. And when I lost my dad, that songs like this, it's really heartfelt. It's an interesting song because it starts with that kind of really jazzy bass line from Geezer, and it's a very interesting, very different for Sabbath. For a lot of people, Never Say Die is an album that it took them a while to get into. It certainly did with me. But Junior's Eyes was something that I latched onto very quickly. And I think lyrically, it's wonderful. It's about, losing your dad, and it's really well put across, because we know Ozzy's dad, I think he worked all his life, he retired, and then very soon after that, he walked down the garden and died. And I think Ozzy always said, worried about retiring, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep your interests, keep your hobbies. But Junior's Eyes is my second choice. The next one is from Ozzy's solo career and quite early on. This is 1981. From Diary of a Madman, and the track I'm picking here is Flying High Tonight. Mum was going to worry I've been a bad boy. I can't remember what age I was then, but I like that. And I think this is Randy Rhoads. I know a lot of people, the first album gets all the, the kind of, awards and always mentioned, and it's a fantastic album. But I love this, and Flying High Tonight has got also Ozzy's sense of melody, because he's a huge Beatles fan, and the way he was able to create these wonderful melodies, even with Sabbath, when, you know, Geezer would have given him like a handful of lyrics that was probably, Geezer probably hadn't thought about how's that going to be sung, you know, but Ozzy was able to find these kind of melody lines in places where most people would have thought it can't be done. But, you know, Flying High Tonight has a wonderful chorus. It's a feel-good song, and I love it. The next one, number 4, is a deep cut. I mean, deep. So for some of you, you may not know this, perhaps. It isn't an Ozzy track solo, and it isn't Black Sabbath. It's an album that he guested on. And the album is by Mountain, Leslie West, and it's from 2007, and it's called Masters of War. Now, Masters of War is by Bob Dylan. This whole album is a homage to Bob Dylan by Leslie West. And Masters of War is probably the best anti-war song next to War Pigs. It's lyrically, it's fantastic. Now, the reason I picked this is because Ozzy sings on the title opening song, Masters of War, and he sings it so well. He basically, Leslie West sings a verse, and then Ozzy sings a verse. And the way Ozzy interprets the lyrics of, you know, Bob Dylan, which is, Masters of War isn't too far removed from War Pigs, which is about sending, the working class down to the trenches while the other people just sit behind, behind the war lines, keeping themselves safe. And so lyrically, it's not far removed from War Pigs in some ways. And Masters of War is it's probably my best, it's probably my favourite Bob Dylan track of all time, and it's so relevant now, isn't it? But if you've never heard this before, go and find it, go and stream it, or find it on a video or something. But listen to Ozzy Osbourne sing the verses on Masters of War from this Mountain album, 2007. His voice is fantastic. So that is number 4 on my top 5 Ozzy tracks for celebrating sounds wrong, but remembering Ozzy on the anniversary of him passing. And number 5 probably will seem obvious, but this song resonates more with me now than it ever has. It was prophetic, wasn't it? Ordinary Man from Ordinary Man. I mean, Elton John's on this, but Ozzy was looking back on his life. I mean, you've got to watch the video. This is one of these songs that has to be seen with a video, because Ozzy's in this kind of picture house and his life is being shown on the screen, and they show lots of footage of Birmingham and the album covers come up and everything. And lyrically, it's amazing. And I'll be honest with you all, it makes me cry. It made me cry when I watched it while he was alive, because you can see, when you see the footage of Randy Rhoads and he looks back on that, how I think Ozzy had lots of regrets, but obviously there's something very vulnerable about him and the way he sings this, and you know it really meant it. And of course, he didn't want to die an ordinary man, and Ozzy didn't die an ordinary man. So that's my 5th song in my celebration of looking back at Ozzy today. So Ordinary Man, 5, Masters of War, 4, Flying High Again, 3, Junior's Eyes, 2, and Sabbra Cadabra from Sabbra Sabbath was my other one. So what would you choose? 5 tracks, just 5, in the comments, and let me know. It'd be great to think about Ozzy today. And even if you're watching this later on, it's still good. Think about Ozzy today, whatever date it happens to be, as you look at this. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you can. You don't have to, but if you want to see anything else I do, that'd be great to have you around. Check out the website at nowspinning.co.uk. We've got our own shop there selling music and stuff, and we've also got our own communities if you become a patron, which is a great, wonderful, safe place to hang out for music fans wherever you are in the world. Keep spinning those discs. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor, and hopefully I'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you.